It's the Daily Doug.
Hey y'all, welcome back to the Daily Doug. Thanks for being with me today. It is a Friday and we are ending out this week with a big time masterpiece Friday. I am excited to share my reaction to Emerson, Lake and Palmer's debut album. We're going to side 2 today and we're listening to the entire side. And I'm really excited about this one. I know Lucky Man. I've heard it before, but I've never given it a real critical listen. And there's a couple of other songs on this side that I've never heard before. And when I go to my master list, this is my big list of all the stuff that I have on my radar that has been upvoted and supported by our Patreon community. The one with the highest number of votes, the one with the highest number of votes is this album. People really want me to listen to this debut album, and that's why I'm here today, and I'm really happy that you are with me. So this album was released on November 20th of 1970, so we're just a few short days ahead of its 53rd birthday. The group formed that spring. They recorded over the summer in London, and the album came out in the fall. That's how you do it, friends. The album only has 6 tracks on it. We've got 3 on side 1 and 3 on side 2. On side 1, there's The Barbarian, which is an arrangement of a Bartók piano piece. There is also Take a Pebble, written by Greg Lake, and that one I have actually reacted to with the score, both on my Patreon and here on YouTube. That's episode 477 if you want to take a look at that one. Side 1 ends with Knife Edge, which is an adaptation of a Janacek piece called Sinfonietta, and there's also a bit of Bach in that one as well. So as we turn it over to side 2, we've got The Three Fates, which is a Keith Emerson instrumental. It's a suite with 3 short sections, with each of the sections being named after the 3 sisters from Greek mythology, Clotho, Lachesis, and Atropo, right? So Tank is next, and that's written by Keith and Carl, and that one's also an instrumental. And then we end the album with Lucky Man by Greg Lake, and it's a song that he wrote when he was 12 years old and just learning the guitar. And it's going to be a fun listen. I actually have this album, friends. Actually, I'm displaying a few of my favorites. I've got Brain Salad Surgery there and The Works. I have some picture discs. I actually have this one right on the turntable, Emerson, Lake and Palmer, and then you turn it over here, and it's got this lovely back side of it. I actually imported this audio so that I could listen to it all with you, but it was a bit too scratchy. There was some blips in it, so I'm just going to make use today of the 2012 remastered studio recording. I also have my other albums, my picture discs. So here is the picture disc of Brain Salad Surgery. It's in the protective casing, but it looks really cool. I've also got Tarkus. Check this out, friends. These are awesome. People have sent these to us, and I love having these. That was Tarkus. And then we've got Trilogy. Here, whoop, there's the plastic for the other one. But here's what Trilogy looks like. And turn it over. And these are really wonderful to have. So, like I said, I've got this debut one as well. But it didn't quite pass for the sound quality that I wanted to include here on this first listen with all of you. So we are going with the 2012 remastered studio recording. I've got it all set and loaded in here, and we're going to listen from start to finish. So grab a drink, grab a snack. I've got my coffee with me since it's the morning time here on a Friday. So we're going to take a look at side 2 from Emerson, Lake and Palmer, their debut offering. Off we go. And a big organ at the beginning. This one was recorded at the Royal Festival Hall in London. Some of those big open sonorities that Keith likes to use. Ooh, this one's named Clotho. So Clotho is the youngest of the three sisters, right? The three fates. She's the spinner of the thread of life. She's the decision maker, right? She's got that power to influence people's lives directly. She makes things happen. Sounds like Sol Do there in the pedals. Some parallel motion. I love the different sounds you can get out of the same instrument. All these ranks of pipes. And that's going to segue into the second section, Lachesis, which is listed as a piano solo. A lot of sequential patterns. He's got a flair for rhythm, doesn't he? This one, Lachesis, she is the middle sister of the three fates. Most associated with destiny, she's the one that measures the thread that gets spun out. We're back to A, down to G, E flat, down by third to C, down by third to A flat, then half step to G. Wow. C. Just descending thirds. Dominant seventh chord. Moving chords underneath that same pedal. Really lovely. Big time. Okay, third section. Atropos. Cool. So we get this vamp in 7/8. Carl's on the percussion. Don't hear Greg on the bass. It's just piano and percussion. Carl's making some fun sounds. It's like half classical and half jazz. It's a really interesting sound. And Atropos is the oldest sister, right, of the three faiths. She's the inflexible one, the one that cuts the thread. In effect, choosing the manner of and timing of one's demise, right, or fate. Love the ratchet. It's a neat idea to take these three personalities from Greek mythology and expound on them and make a little sweet. Really cool. It's just on top of itself. It's one way to finish it. That was fun. I think we're on to Tank. Yeah, because now we've got Greg joining in. So Keith's on the clavinet. It's hard to follow Keith harmonically. He's all over the joint. Play it, Greg. Did they end up on A flat? No, a third to F. I also hear piano in there. Cool. Woo! I read that there was a drum section in this. Take it, Carl. Except that's with your foot, I know. I read that they actually composed this and planned out what he was going to do. So it's not just improvised. Really delicate work a while ago on those cymbals. And really great dynamics. If I've ever heard an extended drum solo like this from them before. That was cool. It was like the kit was flying. Okay. Now Keith's on a Moog, I think. And I think he's still in that clavinet too. It's got a lot of personality. Keith really does have a flair for setting up these repetitive sections that serve as ostinatos, and he just solos over the top of it. It's harmonically static. It's just in a 4, but really syncopated. I was doing some triplets behind there. This is unbelievably cool. Okay. That one's going to segue into the last song on the album, Lucky Man. This is the one that Greg wrote when he was a kid.
He had white horses and ladies by the score.
It's nice to hear some singing on this side of the album as we finish up. And this is completely different from what we've heard.
What a lucky man he was.
It's been a long time.
Ooh, what a lucky man he was. White lace.
So that's a G, and it resolves into D. Just a 4 chord to a 1 chord. These verses. That's the only 2 chords we get. And then we move to the chorus, and it's an A minor chord, minor 5 to an E minor, the 2 chord before we get back to 1. Right? We get...
and his king
So he goes to fight wars for his country and his king,
and his glory
and people would sing of his honor and glory.
would sing. Ooh, what a lucky man he was. Ooh, what a lucky man he was. A bullet had found him.
Pretty sure this was the band's very first single, y'all.
No money,
This is what put them on the map as a group.
so he lay down and he died.
So he meets a bloody end. He gets cut down in war, right? No money could save him, so he laid down and died. Then we get that low synthesizer. And I read that this was done in just one take, and it was kind of improvised from Keith with all these portamentos. I think on the Moog. I remember hearing the portamento synths at the end, but that's an interesting ending. I mean, it fits with the rest of what we hear, because Lucky Man is the one of these songs that's not like the other, right? So it feels like they're sort of tying back together the musical sounds of the album with that outro. So fun. So fun. I love these guys. They're just fun to listen to every time I come to them. Greg described this song that he wrote as a kind of minstrel song, a kind of like a simple storytelling song. And he also mentioned that the song he thinks has quite a medieval quality to it. And I think I can help him with why. It's modal in nature. I'm going to come over here. Y'all, the verses were just G chord to a D chord. It's like 4 to 1. 4 to the 1, right? Simple. A G chord and a D chord. The chorus goes to A minor. E7, E minor 7, he was. And then it's just an upper neighbor over that D down melodically. So we get, oh, what a lucky man he was. It starts with an A minor chord. Now, if we were in D major, right, that should be, oh, what a lucky man. But it's not an A major chord. It's A minor, not A major. It's A minor. Really fun. And that use of A minor with the C natural, making it minor, is what gives it its medieval quality. It's modal instead of tonal, and it goes back to those more ancient scale formations. before we had functional tonality that would have said, no, if you're in D major, you need that C sharp to prove the arrival on D. But if we're using modality, then we're using a slightly different system, and it has a slightly different sound to it. Lovely, right? The one thing that I want to show you, a lot of y'all may have seen this. I'm going to take this off the wall very carefully. Let's see if I can do that. This is a writing, a calligraphy of the words to the song, Lucky Man. And the ones here in the middle are all of the little repetitive choruses, and then the 4 verses are on the outside. This is signed by Greg Lake, and it's numbered 344 out of 750. And there's even a little embossment down here that says GL. It's his little logo that's embossed onto the parchment. And then over here, it's got a little copyright 2012 Greg Lake lyrics by Greg Lake. This was sent to us by one of our patrons, and I proudly display it up on our wall, and it reminds me of our mortality. It reminds me of this great song, of this great musician, Greg, and it's wonderful to have up for all of y'all. I will hang it on my own time later once we're done, so I'm just going to set that right down there. And there you have it, friends. It is the debut album from Emerson, Lake, and Palmer. We've been listening to side 2. What a lovely listen. I can't wait to maybe I'll re-record some side 1 stuff. I haven't done side 1 all of it on the channel here. I've just done Take a Pebble, and I know the Barbarian and Knife Edge, but now that we've got side 2 hanging out here on the channel, we should complete the album at some point. But I believe that's going to be all for today and this week. I thank you very much for being with me. This has been fun, y'all. We'll see you next time on another edition of the Daily Doug.
It's the Daily Doug. Welcome to the Daily Doug. The Daily Doug.